Good morning, class. So we are going to start our day with an opening prayer. Chris Dudas, can you please lead the prayer?
Yesterday, we discussed about the evaluation of function. This day, we will have some recap about this topic. Who among you guys can tell me what evaluating function is? Yes, that's correct. Evaluating a function means finding the value of x or y that corresponds to a given value of f of x. Let's have some example. Given that f of x equal to 3x plus 6, find f is equal to 2. To find the answer, we will now substitute the value of x to the given equation, and it will give us 3 times 2 plus 6. Then evaluate the equation. We will have 6 plus 6, and our f of 2 is equal to 12.
Okay, before we start our lesson, let me state the objectives of our topic for today, which are the learners must know how to solve operations of functions using addition and subtraction, able to formulate an organized learning to handle a real-life situation, and demonstrates understanding of key concepts of function. Let's first have an activity, which is a game called Guess the Sound. The instruction will be everyone will think of a number and the teacher will guess those numbers using a trick or a procedure. After that, the teacher will ask the students about the connection of that magic trick to the function and their prior knowledge about it. The students will also be evaluating previous topics that they have started. Like for example, I'll give you an example 1. Find the sum of 1/3 and 2/5. And then the other example is find the difference of x cubed minus 3x and x minus 5. So that's it.
Okay, very good students. I know you've learned from our past discussion. So now, let us proceed to our next discussion. I will discuss to you all about the operation of functions. Who among you know the operation of functions? Yes, Alba. So let's find g with the functions of variable of x. So the sum functions f plus g is the function defined by f plus g. The quantity of f plus g times x is equal to g of x. That is the operation for addition. And then next, the difference functions f minus g is the function defined by the quantity of f minus g times x is equal to g times x is the operation for subtraction. So students, let us have an example. So let's say f of x is equal to the value at x squared minus 9, and then g of x is the value of x plus 3, and then h of x is equal to the value at x minus 2. So let us find g plus h and times x, since we are finding the value for the addition. So addition operation. So we have g of x. So we have x plus 3 plus the value of hx. So we have x minus 2. So combine like terms, x plus 3 minus 2. So we have 2x minus plus 1. So that is the value of g plus h times x is equal to 2x plus 1. So okay students, we're done in additions. So let us proceed to the operation of subtraction. So same given but different problem. So we have the quantity of f minus h times x. So let us substitute the value of f minus the value of h. So we have x squared minus 9 minus the value of h, which is x minus 2. So you have to multiply the value of x to the to negative sign. So we have x squared minus 9 minus x. Since they are both negative, so we have plus 2 addition. So simplify and then combine by terms. X squared minus x minus 9 plus 2 is equal to x squared minus x minus 7. That is okay guys, that is the final answer for addition and subtraction. Did you get it? Everything is clear to you guys.
For further information, we also prepared a video presentation about operations of functions. So listen carefully and pay attention.
Let's say that f of x is equal to 2x plus 5, and g of x, let's say g of x is x squared minus 4. Perform the indicated operations. So what is f plus g? What's the sum of the two functions? All you got to do is add them. 2x plus 5 plus x squared minus 4, and combine like terms. So all we can combine is 5 and negative 4, which adds up to 1. So it's x squared plus 2x plus 1. And so that's the sum of f and g. Now what about f minus g? F is 2x plus 5, and then it's going to be minus x squared minus 4. So this is going to be negative x squared plus 2x, and then we have 5 minus negative 4. 5 minus negative 4 is like 5 plus 4, which is 9. So that's equal to f minus g. Now what about f times g? This is just going to be 2x plus 5 times x squared minus 4. And we can go ahead and FOIL it. 2x times x squared, that's 2x cubed. And then 2x times negative 4, that's negative 8x. And then we have 5 times x squared, that's 5x squared. And then 5 times negative 4, it's negative 20. So in standard form, it's 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 8x minus 20. Now, what is the domain of the three functions that we found? Let's start with f plus g. What is the domain for that? Whenever you have a polynomial, be it a binomial, trinomial, or many terms, where you don't have any fractions, no radicals, or logarithmic functions, the domain will be all real numbers. There's no restrictions on the value of x in this expression. X could be anything. So for these three functions, f plus g, f minus g, and f times g, we don't have any fractions or radicals. So the domain is all real numbers. It's negative infinity to infinity. Now what about f divided by g? What's the domain for this? F divided by g is simply 2x plus 5 divided by x squared minus 4. Now that we have a fraction, the domain is restricted. It is not all real numbers. To find the domain, you want to find the x values that do not exist, the values that x cannot be. To do that, set the denominator equal to 0. X squared minus 4 cannot be 0. If it is, we're going to get a vertical asymptote, which means it's undefined at that point. Now we can factor x squared minus 4. It's x plus 2 times x minus 2. So therefore x cannot equal negative 2, and it can't equal 2. These are the vertical asymptotes. But they're also infinite discontinuities. We can't plug in negative 2 for x. The function will be undefined. Anytime you have a 0 on the bottom, it's undefined. So how can we write the domain using interval notation if x cannot equal negative 2 or 2? It's going to be from negative infinity to negative 2 union -2 to 2, union 2 to infinity. So here's another example. Let's say if we have the function 1 over x minus 3. X minus 3, the denominator cannot be 0. So x cannot be 3. Therefore, the domain is everything except 3. That's how you'll write it. Let's say if we have this. X cannot equal 4, and it can't equal -3. Just change the sign. If you set x minus 4 to 0, you'll get 4 for x. Now to write the domain, it's going to be -infinity to -3. -3 comes before 4. Union -3 to 4. Union 4 to infinity. So that's the domain for this function. So let's say that f of x is equal to 4x plus 5, and g of x, let's say it's equal to 8 minus x squared. What is f of 2 plus g of 3? To find f of 2, we need to replace x with 2 in the equation 4x plus 5. So that's 4 times 2 plus 5. And that is a terrible looking 2. To find g of 3, we need to plug it into that equation. So it's plus 8 minus 3 squared. And then let's add. 4 times 2 is 8. And 3 squared is 9. 8 plus 5 is 13. 8 minus 9 is -1. 13 minus 1 is 12. So that's the value of f of 2 plus g of 3. You just find the two values and you add them. Let's try another example. So what is f of -2 multiplied by g of 2? So let's do it separately. Let's find f of -2 first, using this formula. So it's going to be 4 times -2 plus 5, which is -8 plus 5, and so that's -3. Now let's calculate g of 2 using this equation. So that's 8 minus 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. So now that we have these two values, let's replace f of -2, which is -3, and let's replace g of 2 with 4. So -3 times 4 is -12. So that's the value of f of -2 times g of -2. Times g of +2. So all you gotta do is simply find the values and then multiply them.
Okay, class, I hope you further understand our topic for today. That would be all. Thank you.
Okay, class, do you have any questions or clarifications about our topic today? So now we will proceed to our activity. You will have 5 minutes to finish it. Before we end our discussion for today, get your notebook and copy this. This will be your homework for today.